Good morning. So, today we're going to talk about something that I don't think we've really talked about in depth before, but we get tons of people asking when we're going to start a family. Are we going to have kids? Why haven't we have kids? Do we plan on having kids?
That's a personal question.
Yeah. So, we decided today we're getting down and dirty and personal, and we're going to answer that question.
Yep. And so, I think the big reason we have not had kids yet is it has not happened yet.
So, do we plan on having kids? Yes. Well, we don't plan on it. We just...
If that's in the works.
Yeah, we wouldn't mind having kids.
Yeah.
Or at least one.
And I've even thought about lately, and I know this is kind of weird, but, and I haven't even told Jaylena this, like this was literally just something like last night that like popped in my head. It's like, what if we can't have kids?
I mean, I've thought about that a lot.
No, but like if we can't have kids, like we find out like we just can't have kids. What if some weird reason is the reason we got on YouTube is because we put out there to the world that we can't have kids, and someone out there has had a kid, a newborn, and they can't take care of it. And that was like our way of getting a kid without having to go through an adoption agency and stuff like that. That'd be crazy.
I mean, it'd be crazy.
Those are the thoughts in my head. And because I see people all the time. I've been getting a lot of friend requests on Facebook, and I never would get on Facebook. I had told myself, get off. It's just nothing but drama. And I did, and I was off for a long time because I had a bad issue with Facebook for a while. And now that I'm adding everyone, I see a lot of people that have kids, and I'm like, how do they handle this many kids? Like, I don't know. I've never had kids. And so I'm just like, how do they handle this many? And then that's when I started thinking, what if someone reached out to us and said, I know you can't have kids. I recently had a newborn and I just can't handle any more kids. Would you be willing to adopt them? These are the thoughts in my head, people. I don't know. It's a weird thing. It probably won't ever work out that way, but.
So Jason and I have talked about adoption a lot, actually. And I don't think that's something we've ever told anyone outside of family. And reason being is because we're not actively trying per se. We are, but we aren't.
We ain't using protection.
We're not trying. And so that's been going on for over a year, and nothing has happened. And they say, it takes 6 months to a year, but if it doesn't happen, it could be other complications with Jason or with me and my ovaries. And I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, there's no telling. And realistically, I don't know if we can even afford traditional adoption, and that takes years.
I've been looking into it, and it is very, very, very expensive. And I think that there are certain companies you can go through that's a little faster, but then you don't know how reliable those companies are, and it's like $20,000 to $50,000, if not $100,000.
It's crazy. And the reason we don't really talk about this a lot is, one, it's personal, but two, it's like, I always told myself I never wanted kids, and because I lived the lifestyle of Jason, and that was going off and running around with bands across the country and doing my own woodwork and stuff and doing my own photography stuff, and it was always, and it's going to sound very selfish, but based around me. I spent, a lot of my time growing up with Jared. Of course, we're twins, so we did everything together, and it became to the point where...
You felt like you already had a kid?
Yes. No, but in our lives, me and Jared kind of went different ways. Jared went more corporate with his job. I went more...
independent work?
Kinda, I guess, yeah. And so, we still have the same morals and values and upbringing and all that, but when it came down to work, Jared preferred the corporate side, and I preferred doing my own thing. And that's when I just started thinking, well, if I'm going to do my own thing, how could I put a kid in this situation? Because I was barely making enough money, even up to recently. YouTube's finally starting to pay enough money to where we're not eating ramen noodles for every meal. stuff like that where we can actually start paying some debt off and, living. When I say living comfortable, don't think we're living like the rich and the famous comfortable. It's just comfortable where like I said, we're not eating ramen noodles every day. So I just always thought,
we can buy big packs of toilet paper.
yeah, we could buy more than 4 rolls of toilet paper at a time now.
Only 8, but
we're living large. And so I always thought, like, I can't bring a kid into this world and raise it. How in the world am I do it? Which in reality, everyone always says when you have a kid, you figure it out. And I get it. It's like me starting a business or whatever. You figure it out. You really do. But I always thought, I can't bring a kid into this world on purpose, and I'm barely making it. And so I just figured maybe I'm not meant to have kids. Maybe Jaylene and I are supposed to live this crazy YouTube life, and we do different challenges, and we travel, and we, do all these things. If it's meant to be that we have kids, we have kids, but, I don't know if we can physically have our own kids.
Or financially adopt a child.
So I really have no idea. And, of course, my parents, want me to have, or want us to have kids so bad. They've never had really a grandchild, or anything like that. Like, there have been kids in the picture from girlfriends or whatnot, but not their own grandchild. And so they would really absolutely love us to have a kid, but I don't know if we can. And that's the reality of it. And when we get comments every day saying, oh, like every time we have big news, it's you're pregnant. I know you're pregnant. I know you're pregnant. I hope you're pregnant. And it's like, I don't know.
I get comments on almost every single video asking if I'm pregnant. And to me, it's like, I don't know if they just want me to be pregnant or if they think I'm fat. And so it's like, I don't know. It's frustrating in many different ways for me. And it's like, I can't take it personal because I don't know why they're asking if maybe they just want us to get pregnant. And It's like, well, we may never get pregnant.
Yeah. And then like, I don't think it is personal. Like, I don't lay in bed at night and like cry because we can't have kids or anything like that. I'm a huge believer in everything happens for a reason. And so, don't think we're upset when anyone asks if we're having kids or when we're having kids. It's just one of those questions that we get probably almost daily. So it's just, I guess, something we figured we'd talk about.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that so many people, I feel like, they're invested in us and they really want us to start a family. And we've mentioned starting a family before, but it just hasn't happened yet. And so it's like people are waiting and they want it to happen. And it's like, we kind of are too, but we don't get our hopes up every month. We just, I mean, I just don't know if it's something that's ever going to happen. And I have not been to the doctor to see like if there's anything wrong or anything like that.
I think it will happen whenever we're just like, okay, let's really try to have a baby. Like, let's try. You know what I mean? When it's just like, okay, we're going to do whatever we can to try having a baby between us. Rather than before we ever say like, okay, we want a kid, let's adopt. So don't think we're not ever going to go to the doctor is what I'm saying. It'll happen. It's just right now, I think we feel, one, we really don't have the money and insurance and all that stuff to be running to the doctor all the time. But two, I kind of still feel like if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. Maybe it's just not the right timing yet. We don't have a forever home at this moment. We don't, we're doing this 100-day challenge down here, and we weren't 100%. We know what we're doing now, but we didn't know before. So there's a lot of things that go into it, and we know that no one's asking these things to hurt our feelings. They're just curious, and you guys are invested in us, and we know it.
Well, and it would suck to find out, oh, we're gonna do this, and now we only have 9 months to get it ready.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I do think that everything happens for a reason also. And, I would not be sad or upset if it came down to, well, you either don't have kids or you adopt. I never wanted kids until I met Jason. And so I don't know, it's a weird thing to think about every month because you just never know. And sometimes it takes people longer. That's just the way it is. And
Yep. So, I mean, that's just kind of our thoughts on having kids. So, we said it, we put it out there. We'll still get asked every day, but if we have a kid, it'll be when it needs to happen. And if we ever decide to have a kid and we can't, we're totally open to adoption. If it works out that way financially and time frame and all that type of stuff. But yeah, that's just kind of that. It's a topic that it's not easy to talk about for a lot of people. For me, I don't care. I'll talk about it. It's just we don't want to talk about it in every daily vlog when we get asked.
yeah,
So,
like every day.
Yeah, we figured we'd just do this real quick and kind of go into a little more detail on the situation and whatnot.
I mean, I've even thought about fostering kids, but
I couldn't do that. I'd get attached.
we literally can't just because we don't. Our living situation would not allow that.
Well, it'd be like fostering a dog. I think we ended up with 10 dogs. We'd end up with 10 kids we couldn't afford. But, yeah, I don't know. We're leaving everything open. If it happens, it happens. If we can't have kids, we're open to adoption or never having kids. I think if we never have kids, it was meant to be for us to be this nomad life where we up and go and do stuff. And, you know, I'm not going to be mad either way.
It's not up to us.
Nope. So we figured we just answered that. So a deep down and personal coffee with the Crockers.
If you guys have any more specific questions about this particular topic, you can feel free to comment them down below, and we'll both answer the best we can. And
we're pretty open about it.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't have done this video if we weren't. And as always, thank you for watching us and drinking coffee with us, and make sure to like this video and subscribe. And like I always say, if you have any ideas or topics that you want us to talk about, comment them down below and we will definitely do a video on them.
Yep, but now we gotta get to work on our daily vlog.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm tired and the day just started. Alright, see y'all on the next one.